Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a weight loss hypnosis session that utilizes a paleo approach. Now, the paleo diet or paleo way of eating actually is connected to this idea of the Paleolithic period. So for a very long period of time, humans were hunter-gatherers. Before we collected in groups in towns and villages and made farms, actually we spent a lot of time roaming and looking for food where we could find it. And that way of eating actually is a very healthy way of eating because you've got lots of movement. It requires energy to hunt or forage or pick fruit off trees, and there wasn't that much fruit back then. Going fishing, and finding vegetables were quite difficult. You would find them randomly. But that way of eating meant that food was nutritionally dense. There would be lots of gaps between eating. There would be lots of movement. And the client I was working with liked that way of eating. When they'd lost weight in the past, they had that approach. So there is an element in this of imagining going back to that period. We're talking a period, 15, 20,000 years ago. But with them carrying, now in the UK, we have this phrase lard. I don't know if it exists in the States, but lard is kind of 100% animal fat. And some people use that as a substitute for things like vegetable oil or olive oil for cooking, for example, particularly frying things. So lard is this 100% fat. And you can think of your body fat as being like lard. So we calculated they had about 20 kilos. That's the equivalent of about 44 pounds of excess body weight they wanted to lose. But they imagined that in packets of lard actually on their body, but they could see them. They could visibly see them. And then thinking if they were going back in time to that period, then actually by eating less but better quality, these blocks of lard would be melting away and it would lead to this very healthy body shape. And what was wonderful is I actually did the session a couple of weeks ago, and while I was in a conference in Ireland, the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference, I got a message from the client saying that they'd already lost 6 pounds within about a week of kind of following this kind of approach backed up by the hypnosis. So what I look for is a combination of hypnosis plus a weight loss strategy. Just a weight loss strategy that you're not sure if it's going to work means you're probably not going to stick to it. And just hypnotherapy without following a proven weight loss strategy isn't helpful anyway. You need to be doing something different to get to a certain level of result. I love paleo and intermittent fasting. Those are the two weight loss strategies I tend to go to if I want to reduce body fat. And paleo was the approach that this client also wanted to utilize. So if you like the idea of eating like your ancestors, as a way of losing weight and looking at your excess body fat simply as fuel that your body can learn how to use, so that when you feel hungry, it's not a big deal. It's just training your body to burn more fat. You might get a lot out of this session. It was created for an individual. Not all of the suggestions are going to resonate with you. That's fine. You can just cherry pick the ones that feel like they would be more useful for you. But if you do like the idea of a bespoke, customized session just for you, and we work together to achieve whatever your goals are, that could be to lose weight, change body shape, break an addiction, whatever it might be, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule that free consultation call over Zoom. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of stress and tension to leave your body. And on that outward breath, just allow your eyelids to close. Allow yourself to position your body in a way where you can feel comfortable and relaxed. Breathing in relaxation. That's it. And exhaling tension. Enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. I want you to imagine a color that represents pure relaxation. A bright color. And just imagine as you're breathing in that bright color of pure relaxation. And as you exhale, just imagine a dark grey color leaving your body in your outward breath, representing any stress, any tension, any worries. Allow that to leave your body before breathing in another deep breath of that vibrant color. Breathing in that distilled relaxation, exhaling tension. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. That's it. As your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine a luxurious pool there by the coast in Cyprus. I want you to imagine not just enjoying the sunshine, but worshipping the sunshine. I want you to imagine how good it would feel to feel like you're relaxing on a lounger, already having lost weight that you're intending to lose. I want you to imagine this is a future version of you. I want you to imagine yourself at a particular dress size, wearing a swimming costume in that size. And imagine lounging right by the side of the pool, feeling that your muscles are toned, feeling a lightness in your body. I want you to feel what you've lost in weight, you've gained in confidence, you've gained in energy, vitality, and well-being. You've not lost anything, you've just done a swap. You've swapped excess stored energy for wonderful feelings. Feelings that enrich your life, make you healthier, make you proud whenever you see your reflection in a mirror or a window. Remember, this is a future version of you by this pool. Your unconscious mind knows how far in the future. And I want you to imagine thinking about the journey you went on to get to this desirable weight. I want you to think of a journey that wasn't going on a diet. It was just eating good quality foods, real foods and real movement. That's what it took. As you imagine feeling more and more relaxed, perhaps in the distance hearing waves breaking on the shore, feeling the sun on your skin melting away any tension. I want you to imagine floating back in time. Floating back to when you were seeing someone in particular growing their own foods. Perhaps you could imagine a vegetable patch there in a garden. I want you to see that that person took pride in what they were growing. It wasn't just sunshine and rainwater that powered those vegetables and salads. It was also care, attention. I want you to get a sense that this is real food. Real food is powered by sunshine, rainwater, and the nutrition of the earth. Either the soil or the sea. I want you to get a sense that eating this way gives your body real energy, real nutrition. But it does it in a way where you can't overindulge. In the history of mankind, nobody has binged on a salad. And even if they did, all that would happen is they go to the toilet more often. When you have foods high in fiber, filled with distilled water, filled with micronutrients, the side effect of eating too much isn't more weight, it's simply more digestion. I want you to imagine back then seeing that house with that vegetable patch, and imagine next door there was a family that only consumed pastries and cakes and crisps, only consumed processed foods. Just imagine over time the difference in body shape and health and sickness in those two houses. I want you to get a sense that if you are what you eat, when you eat natural, real foods, bursting with vitality, you become healthier and more vital. When you eat foods filled with white poisons of flour and sugar and salt, that leads to all kinds of deadly diseases. Diseases that attack the heart or the liver or the whole body with diabetes. I want you to feel that a key is turning a lock inside your mind. You don't just want to lose weight. You want to unleash a new level of health, wellness, and vitality. But let's seek inspiration from further back in time. I want you to imagine how you would feel going back in time 20,000 years, back to the Paleolithic period. There were no shops and farms, windmills to turn grain into bread. Back then, the food that was eaten was caught or foraged, picked or plucked. This was a time of hunting for food, fishing for food. Not a time of buying pastries and cakes or crisps in supermarkets. I want you to imagine going back to that point in history and just observing long-lost ancestors. These people were like you, but back then. No TV commercials filling their brain with the need to have sugary drinks. These were people that needed food for survival, and the only food around was food they worked to find, hunt, cook, and eat. But I want you to imagine being back there at this time with a difference. You're taking one thing from the present all the way back then to the past. I want you to imagine, strapped to your body in all different locations, are 80 packets of lard. Each packet of lard is 250 grams of pure animal fat. I want you to imagine that this is heavy. The combined weight of these 80 packets of lard is 20 kilograms. 3 stone of fat you're carrying around on your body. It feels like a burden. I want you to get a sense it feels uncomfortable to walk, to move carrying around these 80 packets of lard. I want you to get a sense that to begin with it feels like such a big task. But I want you to imagine you just eat like your ancestors used to eat. To catch a fish would be a celebration. To eat a few vegetables in a meal feels wonderful. Imagine their stomach being small back then because meals were 1 or 2 a day and small, nutritionally impactful, but small in quantity. They would move every day to hunt, to fish, to forage for food. Imagine doing those things with them. And after just a few days, that first packet of 80 packets of lard disappears. It's just melted away. And that gives you a sense of belief that this body fat is not fixed. It can change. That when you eat healthy, nutritious food, when you move, your body can use that body fat as a source of energy, like a power bank, a generator of stored energy. Imagine a few more days and your stomach has shrunk even smaller. Now just even the equivalent of a small plate is enough to feel you're no longer hungry. Notice a sense of gratitude for whatever food you eat. And whatever you eat seems like it's enough. But unlike your ancestors, you've got all of this stored energy ready to use. As the days turn into weeks, there are less and less of these packets of lard. They seem to be melting away slowly but surely. I want you to imagine as weeks turn into months, they get less and less, which means you feel lighter. You feel with more energy. And the more energy you have, the more you can move, and the more you move, the faster these packets of lard also melt away. I want you to imagine eating grilled fish that was cooked on a fire. Tastes incredible. Feels filling. maybe just having the odd piece of fruit. And it just seems to satisfy and satiate any hunger. But living this way, you feel healthier, you sleep better, with more energy. And week after week, these packets of lard melt away. And just speed up time until it's been a few months. And just imagine there is only one packet of lard left. I wonder how motivated you would be to continue to only eat when you're hungry, just 2 meals a day, small but nutritionally impactful. I want you to get a sense that there is no need to eat for energy if you've already got energy in your body. Your body fat is your energy. You only need to eat for nutrition. Imagine eating berries. Imagine eating lean proteins or eggs cooked in a particular way. This is more than enough to satiate your hunger, to give your body the nutrients it needs, to train your body to continue burning fat. And just imagine that very last packet of lard is now melted away. And I want you to imagine, back then, 20,000 years ago, there are no mirrors. But imagine a lake, and looking at yourself in the lake and seeing your reflection, seeing that you've lost 3 stone of body fat. But what you've lost in body fat, you've gained in health, vitality, confidence, and energy. And if this feels like a winnable strategy, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. So just imagine taking that thought back with you, back there to that lounger by a pool in a hotel in Cyprus. And as you leave the lounger, just imagine walking barefoot on the sandy beach, feeling comfortable in your own skin, feeling light, feeling energetic, feeling inspired. To do this not for anyone else but you. Unlock all of the determination and tenacity you need, not to be perfect, but to make slow and steady progress. You are not on a diet. You are changing the food you eat when you're not on a diet. The everyday foods, they get smaller but more nutritional. No need for breakfast if you don't feel like it. You are training your body to be underfed and overnourished, giving your body what it needs to use that excess energy stored in your cells as the very fuel to reduce your hunger even more. I want you to get a sense that what you're imagining right now is a statement of intent, that you will be there by that pool and on that beach at this weight that you're imagining right now at some point in your future. This is not a possibility. This is your destiny. These are now the coordinates of a destination that your unconscious is guiding you towards through your hunger levels, through your cravings, through your choices. It is guiding you to this place. And with that destination in mind, it's time to return to the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Start to calibrate and connect with the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.